Hey there, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to learn about communication, its types, process, and barriers. Effective communication is often what separates successful managers from those who struggle. It's the lifeblood of decision-making, problem-solving, and team coordination. So, what exactly makes up effective communication in management? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about the different types of communication that managers use every day. There are three primary types: verbal communication, nonverbal communication, and written communication. Verbal communication. Verbal communication is the most common. It's all about speaking clearly and effectively. This could be through meetings, one-on-one discussions, presentations, or even informal conversations. As a manager, your tone, choice of words, and clarity all impact how your message is received. Remember, it's not just what you say, but how you say it. Nonverbal communication. Then there's nonverbal communication. This includes body language, facial expressions, and even gestures. Did you know that a large percentage of our communication is nonverbal? For managers, being mindful of your nonverbal cues, like eye contact and posture, can build trust and rapport with your team. Written communication. Lastly, written communication. This is essential in managing day-to-day tasks, whether through emails, reports, memos, or project documentation. Clear, concise written communication can prevent confusion and help keep things on track. Now let's move on to the communication process, how messages actually travel from one person to another. The process has a few key stages that every manager should understand. Sender. The process begins with the sender, who has an idea, instruction, or piece of information they want to share. Message. Next, the message itself is created. This can be verbal, nonverbal, or written, and it needs to be clear and tailored to the audience. Medium. Then, there's the medium or channel through which the message is transmitted. It could be face-to-face, over email, in a video conference, or even a formal report. Receiver. Once the message reaches the receiver, they decode it. This means they interpret the message based on their understanding, background, and context. Feedback. And lastly, we have feedback. This is the response the receiver gives, either verbally or non-verbally, to show that the message was understood or to ask for clarification. Feedback completes the loop and ensures that communication is two-way. Now, this process seems straightforward, but as you'll see, things can go wrong at any stage, which leads us to the next topic: barriers to communication. Barriers are any obstacles that hinder the flow of clear communication. Here are the most common ones you'll encounter as a manager. Physical barriers. Physical barriers are environmental factors that interfere with communication. Think about noise in the office, distance between team members, or poor technology setups during virtual meetings. These distractions make it hard for messages to be heard and understood. Language barriers. Next is language. Words can be interpreted differently depending on cultural backgrounds, education, and experience. Even simple phrases or technical jargon might not be understood by everyone, so it's crucial to be mindful of the language you use and adjust it for your audience. Emotional barriers. Emotional barriers can cloud communication. If someone is upset, stressed, or angry, they might not listen effectively or may misinterpret the message. As a manager, it's essential to be aware of your team's emotional state and be sensitive to their feelings when communicating. Perceptual barriers. Perception plays a huge role in communication. If a receiver has preconceived notions or biases about the sender, it can affect how the message is interpreted. Overcoming these barriers requires building trust and understanding in the workplace. Technological barriers. With more remote work and digital tools, technology can sometimes create barriers too. Connection issues, unclear video calls, or email overload can all contribute to miscommunication. Make sure the tools you use are user-friendly and appropriate for the situation. Overload. Finally, information overload is a huge barrier. When there's too much information coming at once, it can overwhelm the receiver, leading to misunderstanding or missed details. As a manager, it's important to break down complex ideas and avoid overloading your team with too much information at once. To wrap things up, communication in management is not just about delivering a message. It's about ensuring that message is understood, received, and acted upon. By mastering the different types of communication, understanding the communication process, and recognizing common barriers, you can become a more effective manager and build stronger relationships with your team. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more management tips. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about communication in management, or if you want to dive deeper into any of the topics we discussed today. Until next time, keep communicating and keep managing effectively.